There is a rather strange rule that applies to return loss measurements, and it's called the 3 dB rule. When we go and look at our return loss result here, and I'll go and look at our worst performing pair, if you look very closely, part of the limit line is black, part of it is red. What's that about? Where the limit line is black, that's where the insertion loss is less than 3 dB. And as far as the standards are concerned, we ignore all the measurements where the insertion loss is less than 3 dB or where the limit line is black. Let's find out at what frequency that turns from red to black. So here we can see, zooming in, let me move my cursor across to where I think, there. So here we see it changed from black to red. So on the left hand side, all those return loss measurements to the left of 49.6 megahertz are ignored, and then we only include what's to the right. This is for pair 4-5. Let's remember that pair 4-5. If I go to insertion loss and I go to pair 4-5 and I roll this back to my 49.6, I'll get as close as I can, then I'll zoom in. Let's go there, let's really zoom in. And we'll go to 49.6. You'll notice at 49.5 megahertz here, our insertion loss is 2.9 dB. But when I go one step up at 49.6, it turns into 3 dB. And that's how the 3 dB rule works. Now there is a quirk of the 3 dB rule which does generate questions. Let me open up another example from my test files. In this example here, it's a very short link. It's only 3 meters, little over 9.5 feet, 10 feet. When we look at return loss, good news, it passes 4 dB margin, but you'll notice there's an I next to it. There's no tick mark. And that's because with the 3 dB rule, if the link is short enough, the insertion loss may never actually reach 3 dB. So you end up ignoring the entire return loss measurement. And when that happens, the DSX will report an I next to the result to saying, hey, we'll report return loss, but it's for information only. And indeed, if we tap on insertion loss, and it's gone to the worst case value, it's showing 1.5 dB. So it never actually reached 3 dB. So again, if the link is short enough, you can't actually fail return loss. And that's okay from an application point of view, because on a short link, if you do have poor return loss, it's okay because you still have a very high strength of signal coming out and into the receiver at the other end.